Good evening, all. Good evening.
Taiwo, please kindly put on a shirt.
Mr. Taiwo Samuel, let's start with you. Please, next time you want to come online, be properly dressed. Okay? Mr. Taiwo, are you hearing me?
Please kindly put on a shirt.
Mr. Taiwo Samuel. Are you hearing me? Hello?
We are hearing you, ma'am.
Okay, so Mr. Samuel, we should have some ground rules, first and foremost, and which we must comply with. This is like a classroom. This is a classroom, an online classroom. And so there are always rules. Good evening, all. As I greeted the first time, you are all welcome to this course. I am Dr. Have you started recording? Okay. I'm Dr. Angela Ebelo Okpala. I'm the course.
You're welcome, ma'am.
I'm the course writer and the facilitator of GST 104, the use of library. I want to put you through the course guide now. The course is made up of 6 modules and 17 units. I'll just put you quickly through the modules. The first module is types of library and services. You have 2 units under that module. Unit 1 is types of library. Unit 2 is library services. The second module is research techniques. And under it, you have 4 units. The first unit is information services, sources. The first unit is information sources. The second unit is literature review. And the third unit is databases. Unit 4 will be dealing with open educational resources. Then module 3 will be dealing with organization of library materials. Under unit 1, we have 2 units under module 3. The first unit is library catalogs. The second unit is classification of library materials. And module 4, you have ICT use in the library. The first unit, digital libraries. The second unit is computer-based literature search. Module 5, good reading habits, study skills. And there you have 3 units. The first unit will be dealing with basic studies techniques and methods. And the second unit will be dealing with study habits. Unit 3 will be dealing with handling examinations. And then module 6, copyright, plagiarism, and referencing. Under this module, we have 4 units. The first unit will deal with copyright laws. And second unit will be handling plagiarism and its implications. The third unit will be looking at Harvard in-text citing and referencing. Unit 4 will be looking at upper in-text citing and referencing. Now, the ultimate objective of this course is to expose you, all the students, to all necessary information and the skills you need to use library resources and enjoy library services and all facilities in the library. This is to enable you maximize your productivity and attain academic excellence. Every unit has its own objectives. Please, you are advised to go through these objectives. You are expected again to read your course materials, to read your recommended textbooks, and other relevant materials. You are also to participate in online facilitation as you are doing now, and other group discussions. Then you will also see some self-assessment exercises at the end of each unit. This will help you to evaluate your progress from time to time. Apart from that, it will help to reinforce your understanding of the course materials. Then we'll just be looking at that. I've just put you through the course guide. Let's go now on to module 1. Are we here listening? Are we still here? Hello?
Sure.
Go.
Yes, ma'am. Hi.
That's the course guide. Now we are going to be looking at Module 1, Unit 1. And that is types of library. Types of library. There are many definitions of a library, but there is this one that catches my fascination. Why? Because it encompasses all that a library needs to be. And that is the definition by George Eberhardt.
Mm-hmm.
Hello? That is the definition by George Eberhardt. Okay? George Eberhardt, I will read it and I will try to explain this definition to you. And that is the reason why I particularly chose this definition of a library. George Eberhardt sees a library as a collection of resources in a variety of formats that is organized by information professionals or other experts who provide. Sorry, please excuse me. The NEPA just took light here. I'm not seeing clearly. Hello, just give me a minute.
No problem, ma'am.
Yes, for NEPA to bring light. If there's no light here, can I have some? Thank you. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, as I was saying, the library, the definition by George Eberhardt sees the library as a collection of resources in a variety of formats that is organized by information professionals or other experts who provide convenient physical, digital, bibliographic, or intellectual access and other targeted services and programs with the mission of educating, informing, or entertaining a variety of audiences, and the goal of stimulating individual learning and advancing society as a whole. Now, I just want to take this definition, and when you really understand a definition, you are able to remember. It says a collection of resources in variety of formats. You understand that? In a library, you have different types of formats. You have resources are in different forms of formats. It can be in audio form, it can be electronic, it can be in print format, and so on. So a library is a collection of resources in variety of formats. And these resources that are in variety of formats are not just disorganized. They are organized by information professionals. Like for instance, librarians are there to organize these materials. You know, they provide convenient physical, digital, bibliographic, or intellectual access. The essence of organizing these materials is to grant access to users so that users can have access to these materials. Otherwise, there will be no need to organize them. There will be no need to collect them. The essence is to give them access, users access to these materials. They offer targeted services and programs through several other services. Why? For the purpose of educating, informing, entertaining. These are the reasons why we have this collection of materials. So if you look at this definition, it's all compassing. Very interesting definition. Then I will take us through the types of libraries. Basically here, we have 5 basic types of libraries. Although some people will tell you that there are just 4 types of libraries. That is because they are grouping school libraries together with academic libraries. Are we listening? Are you listening?
Yes.
Good. Usually, what happens?
Yes, ma'am.
Usually, they are supposed to be, what I have here are 5 different types of libraries. When you are categorizing libraries, what you should always bear in mind are these 4 basic points. Number one, ask yourself, where is this library located? The location of that library, most times we kind of give you a clue to what type of library that library is. Is that clear? Number two.
Yes, ma'am.
Who are their clienteles? That is, who are the users? Who are their users? Who are their patrons? Who are their clienteles? They are all meaning the same thing. Who are the people that patronize that particular library? That one again will tell you the type of library that library is. Is it clear? The third thing you should be considering is, what are their functions? What are the functions of this? The functions of this library will tell you what type of a library this library is likely to be. Is that clear? What are the functions?
Yes, ma'am.
What special services, it can also be under what are their functions. What special services can this library do, these libraries offer? What special services do this library offer? You know, online, what I did for your asynchronous facilitation, I asked one question. What are the distinguishing factors of the libraries? Unique factors, distinguishing factors. So in order to capture this question, you must be considering these four areas. Number one, which I have mentioned to you, where are the libraries located? Okay. Who are their users? Then what are their functions? And what are the special services they offer? Do you understand? Once you have this in your mind and you are describing a particular type of library, you are likely to get it right. You are likely to get it right. Now let's look at the first type of library, the academic library, for instance. The academic library. Where is the academic library located? Usually in tertiary institutions. Academic libraries, yes, are located in tertiary institutions. What are tertiary institutions? Like universities, colleges of education, polytechnics, those are tertiary institutions. Okay? Then you will ask yourself, who are their users? Usually they are teachers and students, is it not? Lecturers and students. That is the people, their target audience. You understand? What are their functions? Then you begin to ask yourself, for instance now, what are the functions of the academic library? Basically, the functions of the academic library will be in line with the objectives of the parent institution. Is that not so? It will be in line, like the University of National Open University now. The library must be, our own functions must be in line with the aims and objectives of our parent institution, of course, and that will be to provision of research information resources in line with the needs of staff and also students. Is it not true? Staff and students will need to do research, and you have to provide information resources for them. And again, secondly, provision of information materials as required for academic programs of the parent institution. So you must bear in mind the academic programs, okay? And you must provide information resources in line with these academic programs. Is that okay? So I'm not going to go into other functions of academic libraries because they are listed there and you can read them all. But these two are very unique. Is that clear? And so you must mention it. Yes, if you want to bring out the uniqueness of the academic library. Then the second type of library we are going to be considering is the research and special libraries. Yes. Now, like I said, where is it located? Usually, they are located in any institution or organization with specialized interest. Okay? I will give you an example, like IITA is a tropical agricultural institute in Ibadan, for instance, and they have a library there. You will discover that the library is a special library. Why? Because it's handling homogeneous clients with common. What I mean homogeneous, I mean common. All their users have common interest. Do we understand that? All users have common interest. All of them are researching into agricultural products. Is it clear? So when you walk into that library, they are likely to have only resources on agriculture in diverse ways. So that is a special library. Is that clear? And most special libraries, you know, again, what you know, like I told you, we have already handled their users, that their users have what? Common interest. Do you understand? Now, we are looking at the functions and services of research special libraries. There are very unique functions. I don't want to mention that they have conducive reading environment, because every library is supposed to have a conducive reading environment. I am mentioning the unique functions of these libraries. Do you understand that now? Now, looking at the special library, for instance, the special library provides current awareness services, okay? Every library, though, is supposed to provide current awareness service, but a special library cannot do without this. Because once you have new arrivals, what they do, the reference librarian will ensure that it makes a listing of all their new arrivals, categorizing them on broad subject basis, and it will send to all of their clients. Is that clear? So that is what we call current awareness service. And if he doesn't even send it online, he can even have a table to display them. When you walk into the library, you already know that this is a current awareness section, and they are new arrivals to the library. Is that clear? I don't want you to mix up current awareness service with selective dissemination of information. Is it clear? Are you on? Are you listening? Hello? Good.
Sure. Hi.
Good. I don't want you to, I hope you are enjoying the class. I don't want you to miss it up. There is another service that we'll be looking at. Now, apart from this current awareness service, we are looking at, they also offer what we call selective dissemination of information. Selective dissemination of information is almost like current awareness services, but it is more detailed. Why? Because for selective dissemination of information, it's a personalized service. That is, you already know the research to the very minutest area. You already know the research interest of your clientele. Is that clear? And because you already know, you will now look for textbooks, materials that are in line in this area. Hello, I hope we are still on. You now know the research. Hello, hello. It's like he said it's slow. His network is slow, and it's like it's the only one. What do we do? Okay, do I continue? Okay.
You can speak slow, then be fast.
Oh, okay. They are understanding me. They understand this, so no, it's no problem. Hello, are you on now? Hello, are you hearing me? Hello? Hello? Are you hearing? Hi. Are we still on? Are we still on? Hello? So what do we do? One is on back now. Hi. Are you hearing? Are you back now? Hello? They are not hearing, so what do I do?
That's what you say.
They are not answering now. That means they are not. Why did he mute it? Hello? Hello?
Hello, ma.
Good.
Hello.
Hello? Yes, the network was a problem. Yes.
Hello, ma.
Yeah, hello? You remember where we
I'm with you, ma.
Yes, you are now with me. Good. I was trying
Yes.
to explain to you what selective dissemination of information means. Is that clear? I'm trying to make you understand that it's different from current awareness service. In the case of selective dissemination of information, you have to know your staff profile, your user's profile. You have to know their special areas of interest. And then you have to choose materials that are in the area of their special area of interest and send to individuals. And sometimes you go beyond just sending the bibliographic records. You may even, the users may ask for the real hard copy of this record, electronic copies, and it's your duty as a reference librarian working in a special library to ensure that they get these materials. Are you listening? Hello? Hello, are you with me? Hello? Hello?
Service is bad. Service is bad.
Hello? Hello? Now, if we are recording it, can't I just continue and post it on all of them? Yeah, I can continue now. Okay, so as I said, selective dissemination of information is different from current awareness services. The other one is a general service, while selective dissemination of information is a specialized service. And apart from that, the research and special libraries also can offer what you call the document delivery services. Just as I explained, under selective dissemination of information, once you have sent those bibliographic records, they may want the electronic copy of the full text. Then it is left for you as a librarian to photocopy these materials and send them or scan them and send them electronically. So these are the special services rendered in special libraries. And again, we also have another type of library, which is school library. And school libraries are located in primary schools and in secondary schools. Now, what are the functions of these school libraries? We all know that they have curriculum. The primary school and the secondary schools, they have their curriculum. So library must collect relevant information resources that will enhance performance of the teachers as well as the pupils in order to achieve the aim and objective of the school education. So that is a unique function of the school library. Then secondly, they support academic and school work. So these are the unique functions of the school library. Then let's look at now the public libraries. Where are these public libraries located? Public libraries are located in communities. They are libraries that are open to everybody. In a public library, you are likely to meet illiterate and illiterate users. Is it clear? You are likely to meet both literate and illiterate users. Then there are some unique functions of these public libraries. So let's look at the unique functions. Number one is that they cater for social, educational, and recreational needs of a community. Number two, they collect, they preserve, and disseminate library resources suitable for different categories of people, such as children, adults, illiterates, and literates. You can imagine. It's not like, okay, these are for students, and we know that there's no student that is less than 18 years old. But here, you will have children, you will have adults, you will have literates. Your diverse types of individuals can visit the public library. Again, they usually engage in repackaging of information. Why? They have to repackage information, most especially for the illiterates. They have to know how to repackage that information so that the information can get to the grassroots. So they create and strengthen reading habits in children from childhood. So when you look at the functions as we have looked at, you will see that there are some unique features in the functions of individual libraries. And then we looked at the National Library. What is a national library? Where is the National Library? Sees itself as is the parent library. Hello? Are we together? Are we together? Hello? Are we together? Okay. The parents' library, the National Library serves as a parents' library to all libraries. The National Library serves as a parent library to all libraries. The National Library is the legal depository for the nation. What do I mean by that? It collects all the publications that are generated in that particular nation, and at least 3 copies are deposited in the National Library. So it acts as a legal depository and bibliographic center of the nation. And again, it is also responsible for issuing out of International Standard Book Number, that is ISBN and ISSN. Is that clear? So you see that they have unique functions. When you talk about a library that serves as an advisory role to other libraries, it is the National Library. That serves as a legal deposit, it is the National Library. That produces the national bibliography, it is the National Library. That issues out the ISBN and ISSS number, it is the National Library. Okay? Now let us quickly look at the services, library services.
Okay, ma'am.
Hello?
Okay, ma'am.
Hello? Are you on? Hello? Are we together? Are we together? Okay. In this 10 minutes left, I want us to quickly look at the library services that are available. We will rush through the library services. Now, basically, the library services are categorized into two main services. One is general library services, and the second one is specialized library services. Under general library services, you have the reference services, the current awareness services, interlibrary loan services, lending services, reservation services, user education. Now let's look at them one after the other. I just want to explain to you what we mean by reference services. They are just simple. They are just reference queries, questions that may come in diverse ways to the reference librarian. It can be a directional question like, where is the location of the toilet? You will just say, okay, just move to that, and so on and so forth. So those are reference questions. It can become sophisticated, such as a researchable topic brought to a reference librarian. How can I get literature on this topic? And the librarian would assist. So there are different types of reference questions, queries that can come to the librarian's table. Then we have the current awareness services, which I had already explained to you earlier on under special libraries. I told you that the special libraries cannot do without current awareness services. Then we have again the interlibrary loan services. These interlibrary loan services is just to enable you serve the librarian to serve the users maximally. For instance, you may come for a particular material in my library and we don't have it, but the reference librarian will liaise with the other librarians in the other collaborating libraries, and they will be on your behalf borrow such materials from other libraries. That is what we mean by interlibrary loan services. Then lending services. This has to do with your charging and discharging of books, whereby you walk to the circulation desk because you need to borrow a book. Then reservation services. A book can actually be on reserve if you discover that the book is being mutilated and that the book is heavily used, the book is rare, and it's only one copy. You can withdraw the book from the open shelf and put it on reserve. And you, even as a student, can demand that that this book is in constant use, that you want this book to be placed on reserve. We will look at all the conditions. If we really see that there is a need to have this book on reserve, we can place it on reserve. So we have what we call the reservation service. And user education, just as we have the orientation, the library orientation for you. At the beginning of each section, you have what we call library orientation. This is to enable you to equip you with the skills and knowledge that you need to use the library resources and facilities. Then apart from these general library services, we also have specialized library services. I will quickly run through them because we don't really have more time left. Number one is the selective dissemination of information. I'm not going to explain that again because I have explained it under one very vital unique function of the special library. I believe you can remember. I said it is different from current awareness services. It's a specialized service.
Yes.
And yes, and that the special libraries always have these services, most of the time. And again, I'm not going to go so much into it because I have explained it. Then referral service. If you come to my library, for instance, and I am not capable because of limited resources and facilities to completely render all the necessary help you need, I can refer you to another library. I would only give you a referral letter, which will take you to another collaborating library where you can have exactly if your information need satisfied. Then we have what we call the translation service. This translation service, I already mentioned it under the public library. You know, because I told you that illiterates sometimes walk into the public library, and some of the resources that are in English language, you can repackage them. And then you can even translate them to indigenous languages. So you discover that these translation services are in great use in special libraries and in public libraries. So sometimes there will be need to translate a particular document into another language. Then you have the literature search services. This service, again, I also mentioned that the special libraries can also provide this type of specialized service where you can help your clients to conduct their literature search on a particular research topic. So we have looked at all of these services in a nutshell, and I'm going to be stopping at this point and ask for reactions. If you have any questions at this point, please, you can please do ask the question. Thank you. Okay. Hello, can you chat? Can you send a chat? Here, babe. I can tell them to send a chat.
Good evening.
Oh.
Okay, let me do that.
How will I get this? Has this sent it?
History of library.
Okay, I'm hearing you now. Okay,
Okay.
for me to, okay, here. I can open
Hello?
here, right? Okay. Okay, the history of library. Okay. Now we have not looked at the history of library today. So I'm expecting you to ask questions based on what you have been taught today. Okay? But like the history of library, I will just tell you that, it started, they started using the cuneiform form of writing until we came to this. Until we came to this point where we are. So we are going to, that one, if it can be taken, I'm not going to take you on this history of library for today. I'm expecting you to ask questions based on what you have been taught today. We may not necessarily cover all the modules and all the units. I expect you to go and read it up. If you have read the history of library and you're having issues, please ask specific questions. Okay?
Okay. Madam. Yeah. In the academic libraries,
Okay.
I believe that there are academic libraries that are also made for research.
Okay.
Hello, ma.
I'm
Yeah.
hearing.
So, okay, in that line, can we say that there are some academic libraries that also function as research libraries?
Well, they are also, yes. I wouldn't say that academic libraries are research libraries, okay? But they also carry out research. Even in some academic environments, you can also have some research libraries in some academic environments. Do you understand? So, but I will not. They offer research functions, but you cannot categorize them as research libraries, okay? Or special libraries. They are academic libraries. They are not special. They are not